Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. I just wanted to do a video here, talk about and break down the conflict from Married at First Sight season 19, the communication crisis between Britney and Will, right? If you saw the past episode of episode 4 of Married at First Sight season 19, you'll see that Britney and Will had a breakdown in communication, right? The last episode, the honeymoon hit a wall, right? Britney and Will hit a wall on in a honeymoon, right? Britney felt regret and vulnerable after her and Will was involved intimately after they had sex, right? Only to be met by Will seemingly to be dismissive about her response, right? But what Will said was this, because I feel partly responsible, right? I feel responsible for making you feel this way because I had a role in this. I didn't help use protection. I didn't suggest use protection. He felt responsible for that, right? But Brittany, Will, with his dismissive response, Brittany needed to connect. She needed connection, right? She needed him to be there, right? She felt that he was distant from her, that he didn't give her what she needed in that moment, right? She got distance, right? When she walked away, or when she left Will, she hoped that he followed her. And this is later on. He stayed put, right? And this is very simple, right? This happens in a lot of relationships, right? Uh, uh, this is like a core relationship fault line where a lot of people have issues at because they didn't communicate properly, right? Didn't communicate what was going on, right? This is what you call it's the intention and the impact, right? Will intentions was to be helpful, right? Will intention was, well, if you feel this way, then I'm going to help you out by not having sex with you. I'm going to help us out about not doing it. Will even took responsibility, right? He's trying to respect her requests. He was trying to help her in her boundaries. But when they got later on in the conversation, when it was on the balcony, or when she came back from meeting with the girls, when she requested for space, right? Will accommodated her, allowed her to get space because he wanted to avoid escalating their argument, right? Um, and he was, you could tell that he was emotionally overwhelmed in the situation, right? He didn't want to argue with Brittany anymore, right? Here it is. The impact of this thing is that Brittany is devastated because of her past hurts. She hasn't recovered from her past hurts, her past feelings, right? Her history partners, or the people who used to have sex with her and they withdrew from her. They're having an argument about communication, but the communication really stems back, or the argument really stems back from the fact of the intimacy that they had and her feeling withdrawn from Will being withdrawn for her. They never really solved that issue. They kept going through the moment. Even at dinner, that dinner was awkward, right? The dinner was awkward because they didn't really address the issue. They really wasn't talking about what was going on. And then when she tried to speak with him, he kept giving one-word answers, right? Will reaction was, when she said, Will reaction to anything is, I'll just give you space, right? If you look what he's doing, even in his words, he's just giving space, right? And what she looks at is that, and what he's really telling her is, what he's really telling her, and what it looks like is that when things get tough and when things get rough, I'm just going to abandon you. Whether it's physically abandoning you, whether it's mentally abandoning you, I'm going to shut down and be quiet. All right. She doesn't need him to abandon her in this space. What she really needs him to do is to be engaged, right? She needs him to open up. She needs him to open up. He gives her avoidance, right? He avoids her. And this triggers what's been going on with her anyway, because again, what guys have done in her past, they have avoided her, right? So now she becomes anxious, right? And she retreats back to what her avoidant state. She goes back to what she's used to, right? She goes back to being reclusive, right? Or being drawn in. He goes back to being quiet, and that does not fix anything, right? So doesn't fix anything. One way they can fix this is Will has to learn how to validate her feelings, right? He has to unlearn how to validate her emotions, not shut her down, not give her one-word answers. He has to validate what she's talking about, right? Validate, right? Instead of offering space, she doesn't want space, right? She wants to validate. She wants a solution. She wants to fix the problem. When they talked on the balcony, what she wanted was how do we fix this issue? And he didn't come up with any solutions, right? He didn't come up with any solutions to how to fix. He didn't even validate her feelings that she's feeling emotionally unheard, right? She's feeling unheard, right? What he should have said was, I hear that my reaction made you reject it, right? I hear, qualify, I hear, right? My reaction made you feel rejected. My action made you feel not wanted, right? And I'm sorry. I'm not going anywhere, right? Tell me again, I'm listening. Here's the listen. I validate. I understand you're upset. I understand that you have a problem. I understand that we have an issue. I'm not going anywhere. Tell me where. Tell me more about why you're upset and how can I help, right? The him saying I'm not going anywhere helps her emotionally, right? That lets her know that he's not going to leave me, that he's in there for the long haul, right? That he's going to be emotionally present in the moment, right? That he's going to be emotionally present in the moment, that I'm here with you, that I'm committed to this relationship. I'm committed to being uncomfortable. I'm committed to sit in the discomfort of whatever you're going through, and we're going to try to work this thing right here. But on the Britney side, Britney has to stop testing her relationship or gauging Will's commitment to if he follows her or not, right? She sat at the table while she was eating these chicken strips, and she measured he ain't committed to his relationship because he didn't follow. That's passive aggressiveness, right? She's being passive aggressive, and she's setting him up for failure because you told the man to stay put. I'm going for a walk, stay put. Don't go anywhere. I'm going for a walk. I need some time alone. And then you sit at the table, eat your chicken strip and French fries, and expect him to show up. She's sending two different messages. Be honest, right? What they need to do, man. Me and Jack talked about this a long time ago, and I think I shared it in a lot of other videos. You got to have what you call rules to engagement. They have to be in your marriage or in your relationship. There needs to be rules of engagement. Some people call it a conflict contract, whatever. We call it rules of engagement, right? A set of rules that how we're going to engage with each other, right? In these moments, some of our rules that we argue, we're never going to leave the house because, I don't want to be mad and somebody get in an accident. That's some of our rules of engagement, right? Hey, we're going to give each other space. What needed to happen, right? She should have said, look, I need to leave the room, right? I need 10 minutes to calm down, but I'm coming back to talk. Can you give me 10 minutes to calm down? So we can come back and convene so we can have a conversation. The response can never be, okay, fine, whatever you want. That's so insensitive, right? You have to have some follow-up questions. Okay, no problem. Go ahead. You can go ahead, take 10 minutes. And then whenever you're ready or whenever you're calm, I would love to continue this conversation. Very simple, right? It's simple. Things like that will help you move on in the relationships. And that's what Will and Britney needs. Where's the experts, right? To give them some of this advice. Where's the experts, right? They need to address their vulnerability gap, right? They need to address what's going on with them, right? They need to address what it means to have this conversation. And what Will needs to do is Will needs to stop using condescending words and big words because he's using his intellect to shield his true feelings. Look at how when he uses the big words, he uses it to shield and to deflect and to deflect the feelings that he's going through, right? His true feelings. He has to stop using big words to do that, right? He has to be able to be open up and share his feelings and emotions, not just to production, because he's fine when he's one-on-one production, but he needs to have his true feelings and emotions to the person that he's with, right? He needs to tell her why they're pausing intimacy, right? They want to pause the intimacy just to focus on a deeper non-sexual connection or a non-sexual conversation, right? So they can build an emotional connection, right? That's what they need to talk about. I think they rushed to the bedroom, and she feel regretted because they rushed to the bedroom because they didn't use protection, and now she's bringing up all these feelings, right? At the end of the day, right? If Britney and Will must move forward, Britney needs to handle her anxiety, and Will with validation, right? And she also needs to learn how to be direct. All right. She needs to learn. Will can and then she needs to be direct with Will, direct about her needs, right? Direct about her feelings, direct about everything else, right? They can bridge the gap. It can work out, right? But there's a lot of the red flags are not personality. They're really, the truth be told, if we really honest, the red flags is about poor communication, right? They don't have the communication tools to make this thing work. He doesn't have the communication tools to make this thing work. She doesn't either. So again, they need to learn how to communicate with each other. And hopefully the experts can help them do that in this season of Married at First Sight. I'm hoping for this couple. I'm rooting for this couple. I always like black love. So hopefully that Britney and Will can get it together. Hey, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on Britney and Will. Did I miss anything? Did I hit it right? If I'm off all the way to left field, let me know I'm all the way to left field. But join this conversation. Let us know in the comment section, right? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell notification for more of our relationship breakdowns. See you next time. I think I might continue to do these this season, break down some of the issues that the couples have in the relationship besides the review videos that we do. But once again, hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. And we'll talk to you next time. Peace.